Stephen Doc Hunsley, MD, is the executive director and founder of SOAR Special Needs in Lenexa, Kansas. SOAR, Special Opportunities, Abilities, and Relationships, serves over 1,200 individuals with disabilities through regular respite events and special needs day camps. Doc is currently assisting over 600 churches locally, nationally, and globally in starting a disability ministry. Doc also organizes the Wonderfully Made Disability Conference held annually every October in Kansas City. Doc is a United States Air Force veteran and retired pediatrician, while his wife, Kay, continues practicing pediatrics. They are proud parents to 3 beautiful children, Luke, Mark, and Sarah. The Hunsley's middle child, Mark, is presently running the halls of heaven. During Mark's 5-year earthly stay, he gave his family the opportunity to learn from and love a child with autism. You can follow SOAR on Facebook or connect with Doc on Twitter at Doc Hunsley, soarspecialneeds.org. And today, Doc will be presenting on teaching the Bible to the intellectually disabled using the SOAR approach. Welcome, Doc.
Well, thank you so much, and it's my honor to be here today. And this is a talk that God's laid on my heart in the last year, and something that really is pretty fundamental, but we really need to know how to do it. So it's teaching the Bible to the intellectually disabled using the SOAR approach. And so again, I'm Doc. I'm the executive director of SOAR Special Needs. We're in Lenexa, Kansas. We love coming alongside churches and helping you either create disability ministry or take what you have to the next level. SOAR stands for Special Opportunities, Abilities, and Relationships. And again, this is the reason why I do what I do and why where this talk came from. Again, as she said, I'm a pediatrician. It's my background. I'm now the executive director and founder of SOAR. But this is my son, Mark, who had autism and taught us what it meant to be a parent. And I also got to be his children's pastor. And I taught him the Bible. And God laid on my heart this talk and basically told me, teach everyone what you taught Mark. So that's where this talk came from. So why is this talk so important? Basically, teaching the Bible to children with intellectual disabilities is both a profound responsibility and it's a remarkable opportunity at the same time. For parents and disability leaders with children with intellectual disabilities, ensuring that these kids can grasp and appreciate biblical teaching, it requires creativity, it requires patience, and a deep understanding of their unique needs. So today we're going to explore strategies, methods, and the importance of teaching the Bible to children with intellectual disabilities using the SOAR approach, and that's special opportunities, abilities, and relationships. And we add also resources on top of that. So first, let's just understand a little bit about intellectual disabilities, or ID. It's characterized by limitations in which intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior, and it affects many in everyday social and practical skills. These disabilities vary in severity. It influences how individuals learn, how they communicate, and how they interact with the world. So teaching children with ID requires specialized approaches that consider their cognitive, their emotional, and their social capabilities. So the Bible, though, the importance here is the Bible's a wonderful source of comfort, wisdom, and moral guidance. And teaching the Bible to children with intellectual disabilities ensures that they experience God's love, that they grow spiritually, and are included in the faith community. So when we adapt appropriately through methods like the SOAR approach, biblical teachings can have profound impact on these children's lives in multiple dimensions. Some of them first would be it provides moral guidance. Bible stories and teachings have lessons on right and wrong, on love, forgiveness, kindness, and help shapes a strong moral foundation that our individuals need to have and have practical lessons on how to apply that in everyday life. Second, it offers spiritual comfort. Sharing faith can bring peace and sense of belonging to these children and help them with that. It also fosters a sense of community. By engaging with biblical teaching with individuals with intellectual disabilities, they feel connected and build meaningful relationships in their children's ministry and beyond. And then finally, it encourages cognitive and emotional growth. We engage in biblical stories by nurturing cognitive development and emotional maturity. So what is the SOAR? Oh, sorry. Siri's all of a sudden talking to me. What is the SOAR approach? Again, like I said, it's special opportunities and abilities in relationships. It is a holistic method. It emphasizes an inclusive environment where every child has an opportunity to learn, to grow, and engage with biblical teaching in a way that aligns with their unique abilities. So by using special opportunities, abilities, relationships, and resources, the SOAR approach ensures that every child experiences the love of God and the power of His Word in a meaningful way. So let's break it down for each one now. Special opportunities. Ways we do that, we want to create special opportunities, and that means design activities and lessons that cater to each child's individual needs, their strengths, and their interests. So we do that through interactive storytelling. Use visual aids, puppets, interactive techniques to make Bible stories engaging and relatable. Multi-sensorial learning is always the best for it. We want to have simplified text. So having simplified Bible language and concepts helps them to retain that story and the essence of the story. Focus on key items. And so, for instance, let's talk about the story of David and Goliath. When we're teaching that, we want to be relatable. So replace generic things with specific names of people. David was brave, just like what I did with Mark. Mark, just like when you broke a leg, you were brave when you were letting the doctor see you. He can now understand. Oh, and then David went out and saw Goliath on this big field. Well, that doesn't mean anything to someone, but when I can say, you know what, Mark, just like that big field at your school, now they can start relating and get an idea. And so help them realize what it is. Use pictures as well. And then finally, repetitive language. That is vital. Reinforce the biblical teaching with repetition and routine, and they'll learn that in a meaningful way. Next, we want to focus on abilities. We have 3 types of learners: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And we need to focus on each one of those. So for our visual learners, they understand and remember concepts better when they see them. So use pictures, videos, visual aids to illustrate stories. Wonder is here. They have amazing curriculum that really helps with this. And so go check them out. Our auditory learners, they benefit from hearing information through sound, incorporate sound, rhymes, verbal storytelling. But music and rhythm are powerful tools for teaching and retention. And then our kinesthetic learners, they learn through physical movement and tactile experiences. So when we're able to help teach them through different stories and acting out scenes and using hands-on crafts or items, they'll learn that way. And then our relationships. These are vital. There's 3 main types of relationships we have to remember. We have our parent-child relationship, and that bond is huge. It's crucial for effective learning. And parents should be active in the teaching process and offering love, support, and encouragement. This is not just a Sunday activity. We need this throughout the entire week. The teacher-student relationship, the Sunday school teacher, the disability ministries, children's ministry teachers should strive to build trust and respectful relationships with their students and tailor lessons to meet their needs and their personality. We need to teach at the child's at their developmental age instead of their chronological age to help them better understand. And then we have peer relations, where we want to encourage positive interactions with them among their peers to learn better and have those relationships. And then lastly, don't forget about resources. There's amazing resources out there. You can have specialized curriculum that can help with that. Assistive and ability ministries here, Wonder, and several other wonderful curriculum here. You can have assistive technology be a part of that. Leverage that technology such as tablets and educational apps, whiteboards, and then community support. Engage with support groups and organizations that offer resources and training to help you in doing that. So what is the practical strategy? Implementing the SOAR approach really involves practical strategies that make biblical teachings accessible and meaningful for children with intellectual disabilities. So let's break that down. We want to have simplified concepts. Break down stories to simple ones that they can understand. Maybe focus on one main concept that you're trying to teach at a time. Engage multiple senses that we can get all that. Maybe even that you have sound of rain if you're talking about that in Noah's Ark or something, and you can have sandpaper that they could feel for dry land and different things like that is going through. Repetition and routine are huge. We want to constantly repeat. That's how they learn. And then positive reinforcement, encourage that engagement and learning by offering praise and rewards and feedback when they do it. So let's give a quick example of what the SOAR approach would look like when we're teaching the story of creation. So for our special opportunities, we can create a sensory creation week experience with a different sensory bin for each day of creation. And we can use a simplified picture book that shows one aspect of creation per page. And we can reinforce the story weekly for 6 weeks, focusing on a different day of creation each time. For our abilities, for our visual learners, use picture cards showing creation elements and matching activities. For our auditory learners, we can teach a simple creation song, which there's many out on the web you can download, and sound effects that you can relate for each day. And then finally, for our kinesthetic learners, have them do movement activities that represent each day of creation as they go through that. For our relationships, teachers can learn each child's favorite creation elements and highlight these. What's your favorite animal? And go through that. We can pair children together to work on a simplified creation-themed craft. And we can connect with parents to extend the learning at home with some take-home projects. The outcome is our children demonstrate understanding by sequencing Creation Day cards correctly and express excitement about God's making the things that they personally enjoy. So using this approach is very simple and one that we can all apply. Now, just real quick in closing, I just want to share a couple other things. We host nation's largest disability day camp, a great way you can send a short-term missions group with your student ministry to come serve. They spend a week with us. They come back. They're on fire to get in with your church. We also offer a free caregiver support group every single Thursday night, open to any church. It's completely free. Come talk to us about that. We also have a SOAR Disability Ministry Network. We meet monthly, every other month. It's in the evening for those that work during the day as well. But the bottom line is there are 7 days in a week, and Sunday isn't one of them. So make today the day that we welcome our families. Here's my contact information. If you want to scan that QR code, you can email me, and I'll send you a handout with all my information. Thank you so much. God bless.